What's going on, y'all? I just wanted to do a quick take on something I did this past weekend, which was a voiceover performance of a few characters from my book, Harmony and Chaos. And it was actually chapter 5 from my book, and the first two pages from chapter 5. I did a fun little performance, voiceover, just to try it out and see if I could do it, and also see if I could potentially, in the future, do my own audiobook instead of hiring somebody else to do it. And so it was a fun little experiment, and I want y'all to check it out. And yeah, so just wanted to send that little tidbit out there to CW Marco.
First, I just want to say I have bad news. There will be profanity in this little section here. The little kids not here? Good to go.
What's the name of the book?
The name of the book is Harmony and Chaos.
All right.
Yes. So what I want to do is I'm just going to kind of throw you into the fire.
All right.
The same way I do in the very first chapter of my book, I just throw you right into the head of my main character.
Got it.
All right, here we go. This is chapter 5, The Proxy. I'm going to get Goodnight's ass back good for what he did to me. I need to remain focused on my dream of proxy statehood. Problem is, I'm getting sidetracked by my own mind. The invisible to people Rainbow Dancer and the faceless phantom from my final outing with Spencer have me fucked in the head. Best to deal with what's in front of me now. I keep my eyes closed and use my ears to gauge the environment. It feels like I'm lying on a leathery sofa and my legs are resting on someone's lap. Music is playing and based on the electric guitar and Spanish vocals. I'm in Red's room.
Okay.
Afuera, afuera tú no existes, solo adentro. Retina's high-pitched, borderline obnoxious Latino voice sings. This is such a neat song. Chasta's gentle, librarian-like voice says, tapping on my shin to the beat. Who's this band? Caifanes? Caifanes. I will add this band to my database. My nose is now being offended by a mixture of Valentina sauce and sage fragrance. I open my eyes, and my attention is glued to a pair of green stockings, bright enough to light a fucking airstrip. The walking female highlighter is wearing black denim overalls cut off at the thighs. One of the straps are down, showing a giant fang tattoo with a jade mineral in it above her left boob. She places some incense sticks in a clay cup with her metal claw-like fingers. ¿Sabes qué? Mi mamá used to love these. She would say, eso es lo mejor para limpiar la casa y traer los buenos espíritus. Chest smiles as she watches Retina light them all. Chest is one of those people who look exactly how they sound. She's the personification of the Carrie AI system a lot of big-name tech companies use. I don't think I've ever seen her not wear a pencil skirt and button-up shirt. Her hair is long, black, needle-thin, and unoffensive. She rocks wide-framed Tom Ford glasses, which somehow manage to nicely complement her pale, shaped face. Chas looks like one of those models displayed on the walls on a sunglasses store. Her sole edginess is her tall black stockings, Red's influence, the slit in her skirt, my influence, and her rocket-propelled booties, which look like knockoff Doc Martens. You know, much of my thoughts center around fictional childhood scenarios. If I were human, What would my mother and father look like? When I was an infant, would people say I had my mother's chin or my father's eyes? Would I have been a daddy's girl or a mama's mini? I know one thing's for sure, Chast. You would have been one annoying-ass kid who never shuts the hell up. One of those, where do babies come from kids? One of those kids who raise their right hand before the bell rings in the class and ask, do we have homework this weekend? And shit like that.
Lame.
I don't quite follow. Is that a bad thing? I mean, not bad, but like, you know, one of those, who the fuck is this bitch? Deals. Know what I mean? People would think I'm a bitch? Ay, no, mi máquina, no. It's like, fuck. How do I explain so you can understand? Okay, you know how most people tend to just go with the flow of society, smile and nod, and never ask questions beyond their basic existence. Yes, I'm aware. Okay, so for someone to break the spell of conformity and actually question anything, it's seen as like taboo. Why taboo? Porque sí. O sea, people just want to know what they need to know and nothing else. Higher level thinking is frowned upon because the more you think, you know? I see now. I've learned a common human and philosophical idea is the value of questioning the status quo. There's this so-called rebel spirit often portrayed in films and fiction. However, I feel as though this romanticized rebellious character is more of an expression of the human spirit than a call to action. I suppose the point you're making is humans have two choices, happiness or despair. Yeah, right. You know the whole point, the whole pursuit of happiness, cosa, deal, which Americans love so much? Of course, and not just Americans. This notion is common throughout the Western world. Sí, claro, entonces... The idea is, as an individual, I should go after whatever makes my life badass. I make my own destiny. I'm the author of my own story. My goal is to be the best person I can be. The only questions I should ask are the ones that improve my well-being. I get so lost in my own world, I don't care to raise my hand and question something outside of it. Precisely, Chast lays her head back. Thus, why should I care to step outside my world? Doing so would only bring me despair. It would multiply the questions for which there are no answers. I would be left in torment for the rest of my life. Never satisfied, always digging deeper and deeper, only to end up nowhere. Therefore, as you say, Retina, I should just keep my mouth shut and just play the hand I've been dealt. This would make everyone happy, including myself. Exactamente. You need to break up with that motherfucker, Chast. Well, our favorite leader is up. Good morning, Eris. Buenos dias, maestra. Where does you and Goodnight through hands? No, fuck that. Just your boyfriend is a woman beater. I don't understand, Eris. There's no reason for a man to ever hit a woman. We're the closest things to human perfection, and men should feel honored to merely be in our presence. Wow. Is this true, Regina? Are we truly this special? Just like snowflakes. I see. Chast bites her lip and squints. You know, I was researching various feminine literature and learned women are equally deserving of everything men have plus more. Women are the kind, considerate, and loving caretakers of humanity. The so-called world is nothing without women, and men should be ashamed of their historically patronizing institutions against us. And I think I will... oh, I mean, if y'all are cozy, I can keep going.
All right.
Can I keep going? Yeah. Room for questions. I'll save room for questions. Because don't live. Huh?
Were you talking about a robot?
One of these characters was, in fact, a robot.
Yeah, that's what I need. Can you clarify without it being a spoiler alert?
Right.
I figured it was a robot. What's the guy? What's the deal? Who is he? What's the relationship, or is that telling too much?
Okay, so the main character.
Set the scene.
She's a woman. She's Eris. Her name's Eris.
Okay.
She is, I throw you into chapter 5. She's waking up from a little incident that happened at the hotel that she kind of stays at in the city. So something happened. And something happened with her second in command, which is like her right-hand man. And they got into an altercation. Anyways, no, she's not the robot. She is a Russian former sniper. She's a badass. She has all these, she's the commander of this whole team.
Okay.
So she's the one that's like waking up and saying, good night, blah, 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 blah. Because good night last night knocked her out.
So that's the accent you're imitating.
It's a Russian kind of Slavic accent. That's Eris. The more, la, 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 that's the robot.
Who's the one speaking Spanish and...
Retina. Yeah. So just to give you a little bit of character context, so Eris is like the badass sniper, whatever, commander, leader, big ego, whatever. And so Chast I designed Chast, which is the robot, the intelligent robot. I designed her to be the most human, even though she's not human. And so she's the only character that has a lot of redeeming qualities. And she's not the one, as we're all humans, you're not supposed to relate to her, but she's actually the most empathizing character. So that's kind of like a background on Chast. Retina is the overlord of the organization, so she's the one that's making sure the agents, the operatives are okay, she's making sure the drop-offs are okay, she's like the eyes in the sky. She's also like the very techie, geeky nerd. She's a big-time hacker. She's Nicaraguan. She has like this family background, and she's...
Yeah. We got a question in the back over here.
All right.
Questions.
Yeah, that's what I was iba a preguntar. So básicamente hablaste en español sobre retina.
Right.
So, snap. Ask the question. My bad.
He understands.
No, I understand. You're
okay.
good. No.
Sí.
So tú dijiste Retina, ¿verdad? Es nicaragüense.
Ajá.
Pero ella exactamente cómo ella forma parte de los... Bueno, cómo ella forma parte de la secuela, lo que está diciendo la historia.
Sí.
¿Cómo así? O sea, el carácter que ella está posicionando, ella es segunda de comando, eso fue lo que dijiste, ¿no?
Yeah, she's actually the fourth in command.
Let's translate
Okay.
first.
Okay.
For the others that don't speak Spanish.
Okay.
For the non-animated. We just wanted to add a little flavor. Just a little spice to the Q&A. So go ahead.
That was a good spice right there.
So what was the question in English?
So go ahead. What was the question? Marco, what was the question? Right.
Man, why you gotta put me on the spot? So like, the character, what was her role like? I guess you were saying like second in command, third in command, right? James?
Right. But you said she's fourth.
But she's fourth.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like under the big.
What I like about Retina is she's a non-combative. She's never in the field. She doesn't get her hands dirty.
Oh. Okay.
And Eris, the main character, the Russian, she treasures Retina because no one else can do what she does. No one has her smarts. No one has her computer intellectualism. And so Retina is like, without Retina, there's no operation because there's no one watching back at headquarters. And without no Retina, there is no operation. There is no proxy. The title of the chapter is called The Proxy, which is the name of this organization, the Proxy Organization.
She's brains.
She's the brains. She's the brains, but she hides her intelligence.
Right.
You know,
okay.
she's one of those like you're not gonna know what she is until you poke her a little bit. Like Chas is trying to figure out herself, the robot. She's always like, hey, I read this whatever magazine. Hey, I read this book. Hey, what do you think? So she's trying to figure out who she is. She's the only character in this book, mind you, she's not human. The only one that's like, hey, where do I belong? What should I do? And Chas is. Go ahead.
Would you say the robot's trying to figure out her values?
Boom! Yes!
We tied it in. We tied it in.
Air high. That was good. The timing was impeccable.
So okay, hey, respect on the on how the whole process of thinking of giving characters these, how you made this book and creativity. You must have been in a different time, your head, how putting this together outside
of the book now.
Yeah. So tell us where we can find this book and
So you can find it. It's for sale now in real life on Amazon and Barnes and Noble.
Is there an audiobook version?
The audiobook is going to be the next step for me.
That I was kind of learning and reading about, and how and it's funny because it's because I write based on what I see in society. And what we have in society is a lot of chaos. But somewhere in there, you gotta find it. Somewhere in there, there is some harmony somewhere.
What's your harmony?
Oh, that's a ooh, okay.
Where those values at?
Actually, I am gonna bring it back to the values because when we were doing the value activity, I knew 10 right off the bat, and so I was just waiting for the next step. And then when you said, okay, go to the next, I was already at 2. And then, okay, 3, okay, I guess I can throw 2 more in there. And so my top 2 values, and they kind of go hand in hand, like you said, is knowledge and wisdom. And so my harmony is knowledge and wisdom with creativity, with humor, and we wrap it all together to make life. That's my top 5 values right there.
All right. Let's see W. Marco.